Oh man, it's always a pleasure, man. It's always a treat when players meet, man.
No question.
Yeah, man. We got King Erner, man. This the man that tell youngins like, listen, I could wear the same dickie for a year straight, but make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? And they gotta understand that it's not about the clothing; it's about the mindset. The mindset of you earning.
Right.
Of course, you got a bunch of blue dickies, but you choose to wear whichever one you want to choose because you like, I'm chasing an earn. Can you give the youngins some knowledge of why you carry it in that manner?
Well, you know, the origin of it is basically, you know, our culture, period. A lot of communities and a lot of families, the home or outside the home, you know, everybody hustled, sold drugs and stuff like that. When I was a youngin', I would go out, long johns, dickies. I might go out on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock at night or Monday morning, 5 in the morning, and don't come back until Thursday. I might have everything stashed on me, long johns, work everywhere, but I'm earning as I go along. 3-4 days later, I'm back to the crib again, and you don't really have time to relax. You know, we had beepers and stuff like that, but if it was a block that was running, you got to get the flow as it's coming in. So, you know, you ain't have time to really go ahead and get a whole new outfit and put it on. It's like, why? You want the mindset to stay, you know, real gritty and grimy. So what you do is you go in the bathroom, take off all that, wash up real good, boom, 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 and might put new undies on and everything underneath of it, pack yourself up. So what I consider myself doing recently was, damn, for so long, everybody across the world knew about my Seamoss products. Just like everybody across the world know about Leak Malls. Everybody across the world know about Pretty Fly. But Philadelphia per se, they just see us and they say, hey, you know, they're the guys we see every day. So we don't have that support there. What I done, I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grind it the same way I would grind in the streets. Right. Not because I have to, because I want to. Because this is an example in it too. Everybody somewhere, somebody can get up every day right now and sell something. You see how you doing the soap now? A lot of people miss when that's how I carried it with the soap for years. I would give out a lot of work. I would make a lot of Seamoss soap, and now I give it to a few youngins. Bundles here, bundles here, bundles here. Same mindset, and it runs like a warrant. The thing is the consistency in what our community isn't used to is a constant flow of anything recently.
Well, listen, right? With that being said, man, I see some of the biggest guys that's on social media supporting, you know, the whole Seamoss thing. Because right. I've seen, you know, shout out to Wallow. I seen Wallow shout you out. Like right. he admitted that, you know, you was one of the first guys that started the Seamoss that he's seen out of his own eyes.
Right.
So a lot of people really not understanding, like, you really like the of Philadelphia or the world, the tri-state around here, around where we at.
Right.
Nobody knew about Seamoss till you brought it on.
Yeah, see the thing is, and that's the recognition with people. People want recognition for everything. I don't really want the biggest of recognition for giving the people what somebody else already had gave them. You know, I just restored it like I done the honor. So you have an individual that may come out that want to just, they forget about everything. And we learn from even the biblical form to the Quranic form, we have individuals that once they get something that they're not used to, rather it's money, materialistic, they do not know how to continue to be humble. Right. We learned that from when Musa, what happened? He went up on a mountain. And while he was on the mountain, they got a calf and a goat. They got to worship him, right? Same thing with these dudes. These dudes, they actually walk up on the mountain, but in a different mindset.
Right.
They walk up on that mountain and they feel as though, I'm God, though. It's a difference. Musa didn't feel like that. they feel like they begin to be overrushed, and it's not like a thing where it's being missed. Every individual that I supported or had something to do with that had a business that I helped out, somehow, some way, the mindset goes into, from the views and likes and the traffic that I bring, I'm bigger and better than even Dr. Saban. Now here's a man who done what? Actually cured people.
Millions.
He cured millions of people, but guess what? You have individuals that will say, I don't want to take from him, but they haven't cured anybody. They say they do. Anybody can cure. Let me get you understand. Anybody can cure the stuff that got to do with vitals that are evident. Like meaning when you go in the hospital and they say, let's get your vitals. Anybody can fix them. That's blood pressure, glucose, all that is there.
Right.
Put that on your arm. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Anybody can bring those levels down temporarily. It's about bringing them levels down 100%, and they not coming back, with helping the people have that mindset in order to change their lifestyle. They look at King Gurner, they look at us, Elite Moss, and they say, these individuals done all these negative things. So why should we even care? And then when they see us growing, they're counting on the fall from the rip. That's what's going on. So you brought up Wallow, which is a thing that he actually done on his own. That never was a paid promotion. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Before he even mentioned me on that platform with Seamoss, I had a Leak Moss that mentioned me. I had an AR ad that mentioned me. Not only just a Kevin Gates, but K. Michelle.
Right.
You know,
we about to get into
yeah,
that.
but what I'm breaking down is that I've never wanted to accept anything anybody done as a global warning, like I'm him.
Right.
Here I am, I'm God. You know, I'm him. A lot of people gotta remember too.
Right.
It's like an understanding in a lot of spiritual worlds is people being God. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I do my I'm him, for the most part, I try to do lowercase because I'm not the big him. I'm not looking for it.
Right.
Because it's some things.
You hear that, youngins?
It's some
That was
things
major.
that's being recorded, right? That everybody ain't really getting an understanding that. Not even them. They don't witness it. Instagram won't witness it. Nobody. It's angels with us every day.
Come on.
But people going to skip over everything that got to do with the honor and everything that I'm saying and say, they were negative. They done this, they done that. But they're not going to admit the fact that every majority of them, prophet or messenger, had something going on that God said, look, I'm going to choose that person to carry the honor in the purest form. And I'm talking about a positive thing, nothing negative, nothing that we consider on the street side of things. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now listen,
you know,
right? My thing is, you say K. Michelle, right?
yeah.
Like, my thing, we ain't just talking about Danielle down the street, Kim from next door.
Right.
We talking about the actual celebrity, the star, K. Michelle.
Right.
So can you explain how you and K. Michelle, how that relationship came about? Like,
I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
You was giving K. Michelle Seamoss?
Yeah, I mean, of course. But this is the twist with
You hear
in
this?
reference to K. Michelle.
Sneaky.
When it comes down to the K. Michelle, it was like a thing where I can't even give her the credits in it. You know why? Hold on, let me give you some understanding. It was a social media post where she asked for Seamoss, and someone that supported me, a female, that actually wanted to buy some Seamoss, but she really couldn't afford it, was BSing me around. And went in right on there and said, King Gurner has it. So by her replying to that, it bought me like 10,000 followers, no BS. By her just replying to it. Then we went on to do business. Me, her sister, everybody, like we got an honorable relationship, but K. Michelle, Kevin Gates.
We want to get
Hold on, let me finish though. Because I got to do that because you went into like Wallow, like in reference to people that's celebrities.
Right.
All these people have done that, but they can never tell you that I ever got on, even the Queen's Flip, that I ever got on their line and asked them for anything.
Right.
They can't even tell you that I called them unless they reached out to me and sent a text. You know why?
Right.
People are being pulled every way which possible. And we see the glamour and the glitter and the gold, but we don't understand when them people get out their bed and they go on them shows, that's exercise, that's working, they're working.
Right.
So I don't want to pull. So when Gates came here, he said he wanted to buy some Seamoss off the rock, but he wanted to see the kids. He had made a promise. I was on FaceTime having it was just a promise of honor to the children. We could have got any benefit of, yeah, look, hey, this is the guy, take 1,000,000 pictures.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. You know why? It's not about that. They use the gram for whatever they use the gram for. People, period.
Right.
We're not using it for that.
Right.
But because the coin is there,
Right.
I want to make sure we honor the dollar.
Right.
You know?
So my thing is, let's bring it back to Wallow.
Right.
We understand that you didn't, ask these guys to bring out, to speak about the Seamoss. I was just speaking about it because for people that know of him and know like the name he got, I just wanted to say that we got guys that's really giving you your flowers a long time ago. That to these guys it means a lot to the world, to the people out there. Like, so you didn't ask for nobody to reach out or whatever. They just reached out on the shrimp. He just said, hey. He just kept it real. Like, yo, you was the first person that he seen that was speaking about it. So that's why I brought that up. Shout out to Wallow. But yeah, that's amazing. Like, you working with K. Michelle just on the strength of, see, my thing is this. He's using his platform in a positive manner. He's not just using it for a dollar, for the fame, for the glamours, the glitz. He's using it for a real serious positive manner. So at the end of the day, just by him doing what he's doing, when you give out that kind of energy, that's what you get back. By you giving out what you've been giving out,
right?
That's why K. Michelle, that's how that whole, the universe works, how it works. And it works that way in a real way. Because you was doing what you was doing, God, the good Lord, whatever anybody believe in, whatever you want to call them, that's why that energy came your way, because of what you was representing and what you was doing. So shout out to K. Michelle, man. We really appreciate
it. And another thing, right? This is what the issue be with people. Like, I can remember when people hear that I had these connections with these people, the first thing they do is try to get me to get them to do something. And ain't no way in the world I'm going to have Gates or anybody that I honor or that honor my brothers do anything outside of us until they honor it here first.
Right.
So when they say, here's the music and blah, 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 there was certain dudes I know, I said, damn, they got an honorable sign. If I'm talking to him in reference to relationship conversation, I'll mention it at hand. Go check that joint out. But at the same token, I feel as though that no one is being truthfully understanding to honor.
Right.
Honestly, this is their
explain honor to the. Well, you explain what honor
is the action to loyalty.
Okay.
It's the actual act. Okay, a person is loyal. How do you know that person is loyal? You don't know.
Right.
You have to act upon it. You have to do something that's going on that you'll be like, damn, that was loyal. That's honor. It's in them. So at the end of the day, my goal be, Moss always would tell me, you spread yourself wide. All they do is try to use your joint to capitalize, to go up. You don't dig it? And it be like, damn, I do. But it be like a delusional thing with me. Whereas though I'm high off of helping somebody.
Right.
Once I get high off of helping somebody, it's like, damn, and you be in the middle of helping a person, and it be like, they're trying to take the word that you use and installed in them, and you hear integrity. You hear every word but honor. Last time I was on this show, somehow, some way, the conversation we had in reference to Wallow or Gilly got to him in a way where it was behind my back, where somebody was on fan time, I guess, and speaking negative. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And what ends up happening is these vlogs and these people, when they do that, where they get the ball handling and they say, I might can get an interview out of this guy. Or maybe the conversation that I get out of Erner, if I go in a negative way, maybe, just maybe, it'll start something. And then boom, the name of my John or the name of whoever, it blows.
Right.
So what people don't be understanding about life is that we're not over here playing games.
At all.
So when you get to playing games and then things start happening, lies start falling on us. It'll be a lie, man. Anybody, a dude, we have an argument with a guy on the internet, that guy go outside and fall the day of tomorrow, they're going to lie and put it on us. You know why? They said we were the negative ones.
Right.
It's a hate. We're coming in their field. We're totally in their field.
Now listen, right? Before we go to a whole other level, I want to get back to where it all started.
Right.
With the Seamoss. You brought Kevin Gates down to the hood to he didn't just come down to cop Seamoss.
Right.
He came down to show the kids love. Like, the people need to know your story of the Seamoss.
Right.
So let's get back to that. Let's back everything up, right? Hold on. We had Wallow give you the great shout out, even though AR Ab, shout out to Ab, man.
Right.
Free AR Ab. My brother Ab Ben shouted you out with the Seamoss.
Yeah.
Organic Moss Ben shouted you out. But people they didn't recognize that shout out.
No, they did.
Oh, they did.
They did. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
When he done what he done, that was love.
Okay.
But what I'm saying to you is that it was put in the atmosphere as if when he done it, it made it jump. That's not the case. Honestly, just be truthful, no disrespect. That was the least of earn that I got in reference to that. When these brothers mentioned me and when Gates mentioned me, Kim and Shawnee had to say hello about it.
Right.
It bought me over a dime. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was more about the right time, and a time then no one had Seamoss.
Right.
Remember how you'd be able to go outside, you could find weed everywhere?
Right.
It was a time where you couldn't too.
Right. Exactly.
But now everybody that got
Seamoss is everywhere.
It shuts the
Like
earn down to the point where you got to grab a hold of the market. So what I done was I searched out some young black brothers. I can't really give up their name right now because if I give up their name, I got every kid in the world trying to figure out how to scheme me, not trying to help.
I get it.
So I get it straight from the water.
From the water.
To me now. So it's like, it's just the numbers that I'm at. I don't even have to really sell it. It sell itself. But that's only a blessing from God. But when I started selling Seamoss, it became a blessing and a curse. Sometimes you could pray for something and you receive it and you're not ready for it. And I wasn't ready for it. So what happened was it went wildfire everywhere. People were more concerned about like, hey, you heard enough. You know the bull got Seamoss. Like as if I supposed to walked up on somebody and boom, 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 boom. Because they had Seamoss.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay. They are attached to the image.
Right.
They're not attached to the reality of what I'm speaking. They think beard, they think negative, they think all these things. So my mindset is like, let me fall back from the rants and the foolery. See, because when I snatch honor, it's a message in it.
Right.
But guess what? Everybody don't like that message because guess what? Somebody has a rat that they love. So when it gets down to that rat, see, it's cool when the other rats is being dishonored.
Right.
But when it gets down to
when it
that
hit home,
rat,
when it hit home, when it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your grandchild,
Erna, why you doing
kid,
it? Erna, why you're doing it? What's your problem? What's your thing? So I said, you know what? It's a circus going on. Everybody has picked up that if you speak about a rat, only person ever done it besides me was Tax Tone, free him.
Right.
He's the only one that done it prior to me that's had a nerve to put their face on the camera. Nobody does that. No one puts their whole face on the camera and talk about stamped men that supposedly stamped. That's rats. I've done it worldwide.
Right.
They said,
and can I say something?
That's what they wanted me to do down there though. They said, King Garner, some people that don't know me across the world, he's not outside, this guy is some. And when they see me in public, it's like, what do y'all want me to do next? Walk on the moon? I'm here. It's me.
Right. No, they really like, you can't, King Aaron, at the end of the day, whether you want to accept that you are who you are.
Right.
And people want to follow you for what they want to follow you for. Like, your word is like Moses or a disciple, Paul or somebody.
Similar, but
like,
not close to them. Yeah.
I'm just saying, rather if, like right now at this point,
right.
the way you talk, you speak, they understand that you speaking from where you speaking from, and they know it's real. They know that it's like genuine. So with that being said, man, it all comes with what's going on.
Right.
Meaning, you know, what's going on right now, like you speaking up, speaking how you speaking, snatching honor, they giving you the utmost, like, yo, they see like, damn, dude is he's stepping up to the plate saying, you're a rat.
Right.
This what you did.
Stop recycling crime. That's the goal.
You know what I mean? Stop recycling crime.
Let me ask you this question.
That's the goal.
Every individual, right? Every guy, every person that's been to jail, if you done your time, I don't care who you are. When you got out the door, guess what you try to do? Straighten it up the right way. Somehow, some way, you wanted to curve away from what you were doing. Hold on, let me give you this first, because I want them to understand that. Somehow, some way, you try to curve away from whatever you're doing, and guess what ends up happening? Guess what ends up happening? You end up in a position where you come home and you better yourself by just it being natural. That natural inclination not supposed to be doing the right thing when you get caught up for it, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? The government has found a way to almost like, if you look at it in a religious way, forgive everybody's sins if they turn over the individual that they done the sin with.
Right.
And what ends up happening is, them guys get relief. And when they get that early relief, they don't get no understanding of the punishment that they went through.
Right.
See, we got to understand it because we've done day for day, over and over. They pointed the finger. And guess what? We understood. But every rat, if you look them up, brother, everyone that comes home from jail, they are the problem, because guess what they're going to do? Continue to try to harm the community, and that's called recycling crime. The government allows the crime to be recycled by only the individual that says, I can tell you how this all works out. As long as he can tell that, he can come home. And that's the sad part about it, because guess what that means? That means that we have a world, we have a system that's allowing individuals that get locked up with me and you and tell and go home. It's against the whole policy. But they honor it and they respect it.
Right. I mean, you know, question.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you done fed and state time?
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, it's like it's different levels of time. It's different levels. I don't know about the feds time. I hear about it. I've never been to the feds, but I've been upstate. So with that being said, can you explain like the level of like what's the difference to like
well, federal is worldwide. You got your pins and you got your lows and you got your mediums. You see what I'm saying? If you're in a pen, you're dealing with men every day. Excuse me, thank you, hello, goodbye, how are you doing today? You see what I'm saying? Now, when you have a person that's in that pen that don't have that mannerism, you have a problem, right? In the federal system, you have to either you're going to be with your system, your city, or you're going to be with what you believe in. I was a Muslim. I was with the Muslims. Philly was always a little squeaky only because it was so many that were rats and they wasn't willing to stand. And most of the solid Philly men were Muslim, you know, and they was adhering to that. So it was like you can't put them in a Philly car because they riding with a law. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
At the end of the day, state time, to me, was more like a buddy program. Like everybody honestly got along. To me, I don't see how a person could really have a problem in that penitentiary at all, because that penitentiary is more of a get your S together, get it together. You don't have nothing else to do. I don't know. I was at 102, so it was like the mindset was different there because it's 85% life is there. You know what I mean? So it's gloomy. You know how they make the gels, dark colors. Everything is different. In the federal, that's what's different. In the feds, a person could damn near die. You're coming out. You might get brown bags for a week, but guess what? You're coming out. In the state, they get the killing and all that, that joint might be locked down for however long.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I done seen in the feds where it could be a duck involved, and they'll say, well, we're not letting this group of gangs out. And they had come to agreement, the gangs, and it's like, hey, look, they said they ain't gonna do that. All right, let them all the hell out.
Damn,
you see what I'm saying?
Kick rocks with flip-flops.
Yeah, so, you know, and I want to say this too. The Mexican food that I get out here, the food that I get out here from the stores, it's nothing compared to the federal Mexicans that cook. You got the Serranos, you got the MS-13s, you got all these different people, Paisans and Serranos. You got all these different individuals that mix their food, and you taste it. It's beautiful in there.
Right.
Out here, I don't know what I be eating. When I eat a mofongo, I'm trying to figure out like what's in this mofongo. That's what the chips on the bag with the onions and all that put together. They make
What is this?
This is honor in the can. Out here, it's like they can't even make a nacho.
So listen, right? Can I ask you something?
Right.
You know, you's a jail guy, man. You done been through it all, man. You know what I mean? You done been, you know, to places where guys would never go at, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dudes would never stand
Wouldn't
where you
even come
stood,
outside,
man. They wouldn't even come there, man.
Right.
And you know, at the end of the day, I look at it like having a guy like you on this platform speaking how you speaking, you know, it's a lot of influence that you're going to influence a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people are going to pay attention to this. So if it's one thing that you can spread to a puppy on, I mean, knee high to a grasshopper,
Right.
to a guy, a young guy, an adolescent that's watching, that's understanding that King Erna is who he is.
Right.
They need to know, man, that they need to know it from the heart to understand, like, young and listen, this is not, don't look at this is that.
Right.
So if it's anything that you can give them, just give a youngin' any type of the best advice within a sentence that you can give them just to narrow it down.
All right, I got you. Basically, this is how I feel. I'm not against the youngins. The shooter that made a mistake and done something he didn't have any business doing, he made the mistake. You see what I'm saying? You got kids out here that shoot children by mistake. They shoot at this guy and the kid got hit. They didn't mean to do it. At a time coming up, that was involuntary manslaughter, not first-degree murder. That kid is just as traumatized as the child that he shot by accident.
Right.
But we so quick to tear them all down. When if you look at Lord Harleen Flowers, if you heard the guys that spoke in that jail, when DC jail, them juveniles, they said, my mother, my father is on crack. How do you tell a child, mother and father that's on crack, barely water in the house, how do you tell them this? At the end of the day, I need for you to be horribly kept, laughed at school, and not get in the streets. They're going to run to the streets. You might see their pants hanging off, their body. That's because they don't have money to buy a belt.
Right.
Come on.
So what ends up happening is you ridiculing, young boy, you got your pants hanging out, you're trifling, this, that, and the third. But you didn't have understanding. He don't have drawers, man. He don't have a belt. So instead of that,
free balling. What the fuck is wrong with you?
No, but see, that's what I'm saying.
No,
he don't have it, bro. What are you gonna do with a child? How can you yell and scream and talk down on somebody that actually don't have an understanding?
Is it fair to say they're driving them to pick the pistol up?
No, I'm just saying you don't have a knowledge. It's like a Bedouin.
He's not aware.
How can I explain? Like in Islam, it was Bedouins. They were like totally ignorant to Islam.
Right.
They was doing a lot of things that was like nobody understood. It was considered trifling. It was their mannerism. They didn't have no guidance.
Right.
So how can you take a child that's 18 or even 20 before he's 25 years of age and say, I'm pointing the finger and say he's a bad guy?
Come on.
When you don't know their situation.
Right.
And on top of that, when I was speaking about the shooting and people making mistakes and stuff like that, yes, somebody should always be held accountable from our community, holding them accountable. They'll go ahead and they sign off right to a life sentence. They plead guilty. They're on drugs, majority of them. No one is actually caring. They want to talk about them being on drugs. But who actually is going to tell them, yo, truthfully, you can get off of it? They hear it in the music, but it's not the music. It's them already being indulged because their parents already was on these things.
Right.
So my thing is that I'm not here to ridicule them. If you haven't raped anyone, if you haven't killed a child on purpose, like shooting to kill the child, and it was an innocent act, get on your knees and ask God for forgiveness.
Tell them again,
Because
King.
at the end of the day, you gotta pray. If you don't pray, how do a system work anyway? How do you win anything? You see what I'm saying? So the parents gotta start understanding that these kids that you've given this negative stuff to, they're picking it up and they're gonna run into the streets. And guess what? They didn't have the knowledge. They didn't grow up outside of our community.
Right.
But the one, there's some that did, that grew up with good parents and stuff.
And you
and
know
still
what?
was outside their home and they never told them, don't listen to that bum.
Right. And you know what? My man just gave y'all a jewel, man. Grab your jewelry box. Yeah, I mean, put on your drip.
Here you go.
My man just gave it to you, blood raw.
Also,
You hear me?
everybody running around here, crypto this, crypto that. We was paying, a man Lee was paying attention to something the other day. You could buy a watch and probably earn a lot more than that. You could take $10,000, put it on a rollie, and the next 10 years, it's definitely give you, as long as you don't mess with it, adding stuff to it, it's going to be worth something. You can go ahead and put it in a box somewhere. You can go ahead and tuck it somewhere. It don't have to be worn.
On a jewelry tip.
10 years later, you come through, boom, you got a bean. Oh my goodness.
So hold on, rewind that. Sneaky! Now hold
Now, don't
on.
take my numbers with what's there, but I'm just saying
Hold
that
on for 1 second here.
investment-wise.
Y'all thinking that investing in crypto and in 5-10 years you can make this King Earner take it from back in the day, just grab a rollie, a Rizzoli, and you can do the same thing. Explain that, because that kind of went over some people's
See,
heads.
when you invest in things, you want to make sure you're investing in something that you know the value was going to eventually go up. If you look at watches, they always go up. Majority of the time. If you keep the watch the same, so you could take that, buy that watch, get 10. Somehow, you know how people, especially around PUA, everybody was figuring out a way to get it. Now, somebody could have got a watch and tucked it, put it up 10, 20 years from now. God damn, what this watch worth.
Right.
Especially.
Instead of rushing to crypto, where they're playing Bitcoin. What Bitcoin worth now? Everybody was Bitcoin kings. Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin, what it's worth. So my goal is just to give you an understanding that stop thinking that the big way out is the way out. You got to get it from the mud.
Right.
Like you got to. I had to check myself. I said, Erna, everybody, you the big Seamoss guy. I ain't trying to hit none of that. What I want to focus on, how can I help my people? How can I make the number a lot better? Because making jail, guess what I do all day when I'm making the jail? I'm not lying to you. They love the jail, they say. I'm robbing you. You can
With
take,
no gun.
Listen, you can take
With no gat. You hear me?
1 pound of Commodus Crispus, and I guarantee you I can show you how to damn near make $700 off of it. Now, on the flip side, for the retailer, the person that's buying it, that's eating it, $75. For the person that's eating it, that's how much of a supply for your home, your family and friends, to a person you could say, hey, you know I got a little bit left over, and you never know what you start. That was my goal. These mutts, it was like when Issa was giving them, you know, fish. They started saying, God, these mutts here, I started giving them the honorable jug, and they started trying to capitalize off it and think they were doing something. And you know what it all turns into? Like the bread, that manna bread, that they told them, they said, listen, don't eat from the manna bread. Because what's going to happen is, if you keep it too long, it's going to start turning into bugs and messing the camp out. They are moving 40 days and 40 nights.
Right.
They still trying to tuck the bread. These idiots were thinking, it's like, here, I'm doing something over at Erna Head. Idiot! I was doing it for everybody to catch the urn.
Right.
We were sitting around here coming home from the penitentiary trying to figure out what we were going to sell close too tight. Hey, go ahead, give me some work. Back to jail, right? Lock you up. No. Now you can come home and get some Commodus Crispus and say, $75 for that Erna. please do what you done the other day and shout me out. Cause 2 or 3 of them people come over to my page, I'm gonna run like a worm. I can move it.
Right.
I done sold more of this than I could ever consider selling blow.
Now, can I say something?
Sneaky.
With that being said, man, we appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you're doing, and I understand why you don't, like, the only person I know that Instagram that got took 5, 6, 7 times. You know too much.
Right.
You know too much.
Right.
And they understand King Ern is somebody, like, besides all this shit that's going on here,
Right.
he know a lot. So they gotta keep chopping your page down because you're reaching too many people, bro.
Right.
You, like, seriously, you know so much, and you dropping the jewel in the game so much, and it's so pure, and it's purest. You giving it to them in its purest form.
I take off a lot of times and don't be on the social medias, like in reference to being participating and all that. When I see it start getting to the point where everybody is looking to get a view or a like or the attention from it. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, to me, me losing them pages was a blessing. The energy I had on them pages.
How many pages they took from?
They took, what, 4 altogether? But,
4
and
pages,
listen,
40,000,
and listen,
50,000, 60,000 followers.
Only thing that's different from when they took it the first time is that now I have to post. If I post, I'm grabbing all day. When I don't, they don't, and that's a good thing. You know why? This is why you got the guy that's from Philly. I don't mention no people's names, where they say when you go on their website from the rip, 14 to 21 days before you get your one package. People say over and over, what direction should I go with this? How can I do it? And they look at me like, yo, Erna, we want you to have this big, glorious store. And I look at them and say, you want me to pay rent there too? So I gotta pay rent. That means when it's slow, because it's a time of the month, it's a time of the week that Seamoss gets slow. You gotta know, in different parts of the state and the world. It gets slow, what happens? You bite off a little bit more than you can chew, whereas though now you got a store, and guess what you're doing? You're not even making no money because you're paying rent every month. You're broke, you're dead, and each time you turn around, you're gonna have to go in your pocket again. You take it from the earned when, in these times, we have a website. And I ain't talking about the website, I'm talking about the internet. Because you don't bring these people money. I don't wanna go on their websites no more. I don't want to go to Shopify. I don't want to go to none of these people. You know why? Wix payments especially. They rob the coin. And you're promoting them. A big platform like mine, I had hundreds of thousands of people going there. All they could offer me was $5 and $3 grand here. And stuff like that, that you know that, you know, what I'm going to do with $5 or $3 grand. My supplies cover that. My bags cover that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm so to the root with it. It's fun. Selling it hand to hand how I do it. Right. And I'm via Cash App. They're going to let me keep Cash App. You know why? Biden's taxing it now. But guess what? I don't care about him or none of them, because at the end of the day, as long as I'm able to get the coin right then and there, I'm honored by it. YouTube is a place where if you got enough videos on there, you're going to continue to make money. You know why? All you got to do is share those old videos. Dead and gone, that's royalty, that's still money to your family. It's going to continue to be shared. So I don't have to be like these guys who go on there because I work them all. Look at all these guys. They've been on YouTube 10 years and got 1,200 videos and stuff like that. I've been on this joint 2.5, 3 years, and probably like a year or a year and a half, you could say, I don't be on. You see what I'm saying? I have a system. It's called Honor Snatch. So what happens is, anybody that's really looking for the Honor Snatch, you know what they got to do? They got to hear the whole message, because the Honor Snatch might not be in the beginning, depending on how I feel. Right. If I feel like I want to get right to it, I get to it. But if I feel like, damn, I'm giving out a good message here, I'm not going to get paid from no one else for it, I'm going to put the Honor Snatch at the end, and guess what? You have no other choice but to do. Give me the watch time minutes. I don't want your view. Give me 1,000 watch time minutes and let me get the honorable coin.
Right.
Let me
that's game.
Because now I'm getting paid for giving my honor. You know what I'm saying?
He want the watch time minutes.
I don't want it.
He don't want the view.
Woo!
Young and listen.
Come on now.
You can keep
Pay
the
attention,
view.
man.
Pay attention and listen to what I have to say, because these people at Google, they're gonna honor what I have to say. And what's gonna end up,
Shout out to Google.
You know what everybody used to say to me? Ernie, you gotta do it like this, you gotta do it like that. Meanwhile, guess what? I was kind of confused looking at them like, I wasn't trying to really go for that. I created the earn near. They worried about the earn coming from the green, the joint going green, the monetization. I have the earn.
Right.
All I gotta do is share and talk about my products, and I'm earning.
We are the earn.
So what they didn't understand is, you know what people coming to me telling me?
Right.
People coming to me saying to me all the time, hey Ernie, you see this guy? You see this guy? This guy's made it. I've been earning. What you talking about? These guys are happy with the money. You remember when Goldie on Richard Pryor, he said, they loving that shit. They loving this shit, man. He said, they in love. He said, yeah, the rich talking about you loving it. They're like, he was Jesus, man. He said, yeah. He said, well, let them keep loving it, man. He said, yeah, Richard Pryor said, I ain't back down. I ain't run on you. There's a message in that, man.
Right.
We ain't gotta do no backing down or running from nothing if you create the earn. Don't be like these guys that having fun. They never had the money before the camera. They never had enough. These guys never had a brand new car before the camera.
Right.
Come on.
Over for the PUA. Not knocking them. I know cats that's driving around.
But see, we can't knock the PUA. You know why?
If the
PUA was a blessing.
it was a blessing and a lesson.
It was a blessing, but it wasn't a lesson. It wasn't a lesson. You know why?
That's your opinion.
Because, I mean, the reason why I say a lesson is something like you go through, you get like, I got something out of this. Like, damn, this happened. Like, damn, none of that was all free, brother.
The lesson
that wasn't nothing that by somebody invested
keep it real with you.
into it. You know what I mean? It's free.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna say how I want to say it.
Right.
You know, when that came around, it's certain people that knew that that was like really a blessing and something to understand that this is something that's not free money here.
Right.
Understand Tuckion. For the real true hustlers, the people that know about Tuckion knew what Tuckion was. They didn't.
None of us Tuckion. You know why we don't Tuckion? Let me give you this game of why we don't Tuckion. If we Tuckion like we supposed to, we probably be back in the position that we were, kings and queens, with gold around us and not caring about it and getting the resources. Everybody doesn't Tuckion low.
They don't.
We spend it on something we have no business. This is why we stay middle or low class, and we say we winning. Right. Now we consider a guy that cut on the camera. That man said they winning. But hold on, they paying $4,000 for a condo. Hold on, $4,000 for a condo a month. I know, I've lived in these places. And guess what ends up happening? You look back 5, 6 months, and you say, let me get the hell out of here because I don't have any money left. And guess what? You're struggling again. If we was not struggling, we would not be taking this pitch that we're taking. This is a pitch we're taking. Right. No big time drug dealers or somebody that's getting some super guap, unless they already got the guap and they retiring, like, let me do this joint.
Right.
We'll be doing this if we was guapiano.
But can I ask you one question? Is it anybody honor right now at this point? We have a few minutes left. Is it anybody honor that you want to snatch? Snatch the soul out of them, man. Fuck it, man.
The way I want to carry this, I want to make sure it's pure.
Just break it.
There's a guy by the name of Ray Rucker. He's from the Philadelphia area here. And his honor is like dismissed. The reason why it's dismissed because there's a confusion of what's going on. We already know about Mustafa, right? We know about all that. But more than anything, when you have an individual that come into your community and look at the younger guys and put them in a position where they can be lied on and their lives, kids that work and do positive things, because you never know. It could be a kid walking down the street and these type of guys can shake a hand. And guess what? Somebody could be riding by and say, no honor. Somebody could be riding by and say, that guy that shook his hand and gave him or her drugs, it could be a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, they're killing our kids there. So we need individuals like him to be monetized, and we need the individuals that's in a gray area about him to not come to King Ernie. You know why? They know. You see? They know. When individuals know, it's like a guy being gay in their family. You know how people, anybody just don't let him come downstairs when everybody around. Comes downstairs, everybody's around. There's a little girl or a child somewhere. Somebody get touched because he's been touched. And because of lack of communication and people not being able to say, that's what that is, we're going to lose more kids. And we're going to have individuals that have family members that's going to try to figure out in their mindset, where I done my child wrong. But it's a kid like that that done it. Because they're manipulative. They never done a day-for-day thing and they can. So they got the slaps on the wrist. Government let them out. They're going to go head first to the streets to continue to recycle crime. So these gray areas, people have to check them out themselves and pull out the truth of what they feel about it. Because when you get a guy like or that cut on the moon, because his honor is snatched. King on the live and direct. Make sure y'all tune all the way in, man. Y'all know how I'm carrying it. We got Leak Moss from Kentucky. We got this honorable brother here. We got Swag, his honorable Wizard. We got the honorable Soup One. We got Moss from the camera. King on the live and direct.
Hey, Aaron, I got one. I know we ain't got no time.
I'm ready to start snatching.
Look.
I'm itching for shit.
We got some more rolling. We got some more camera roll. Let's go.
In regards to everything you really said, especially about how, you know, we choosing not to be the kings and queens and live how we could. It's not because we can't. It's because we making a choice, right?
Right.
My position, I'm going to tell you my position first. My position is, you know, with the city, I don't believe as a city of men. With as many, it's not as many, we not the majority, but it's enough honorable men, you understand, in the city where we could take control of. So my question to you is, do you believe that it's enough honorable men here to bring order to our city? You know, that it's simple and plain.
Well, not if, as soon as they get 10,000 people that understand the message, they begin to show who they really are and show that they never really had nothing in life. Got grown-ups going through, you know, childish mentalities. They get the bag, man. These guys be in their house, brand new clothes on. I'm him. You know, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I never heard Malcolm X do that. I never saw Martin do that. And he ran us into a bush and he admitted it. But guess what? A burning one at that. But guess what? You never seen them guys be front line. The media caught them, but they homies and their friends wasn't saying, blog this. So that's why you don't see a king. I don't like doing it on Instagram anymore. It's 50 different acts on that joint, man. Come on, I'm not an act. And guess what? For the individuals that do their acts, that get the message across, I respect their honor it. If you don't, you're going to feel like I'm talking to you then. You're going to feel like your honor is in jeopardy right now. Like, damn,
exactly. Can I say something?
To me? If you're doing that, I am.
It's only a certain kind of man that can step up and do what you're doing, bro.
Appreciate that.
Like, seriously, everybody not man enough to step up and snatch somebody's honor.
Right.
So with that being said, it's like you taking it like, you know, this is how I feel. Right. What comes behind it, people not willing to step up and be men and stand on that the way you standing on it. So that right there is of it. That is of honor. You speaking your opinion behind notorious guys, gangsters, street niggas.
Ain't no question. I mean,
and standing on it.
Because well, you know, I'm all saying, once you turn rat, all of your relevance gone. I never knew you. It's like you never was born. As far as I'm concerned, if there's a guy that switched, I don't care what they say. He could be Gorilla Monsoon. His honor switched with it. Anytime he let a man with a suit and tie on convince him to tell on everything that he created to have everybody else go to jail, that's a sign of what? Betrayal. That's just, it's just showing us what's going on. What's going on? What's going on is William O'Neal. They know who he is. They know, they heard me speak about William O'Neal 1,000,001 times. And guess what? Each time I spoke on it, I spoke the truth. William O'Neal's, their conscience bothered them. Alpo had to say something to me, their conscience bothered them. Because if you was really solid, grounded one time in the streets and carried it in the negative form of honor to the highest degree, certain shit gonna bother you.
Right.
Certain stuff you do, so that's why you got the outposts.
If it don't apply, let it fly. The shoe fit weird.
But it's gonna automatically fit a rat. So we can't say that in that issue. So automatically fit the rat foot. What they're about and what they're on. So at the end of the day, it's about the fact that their conscience beats them. So the youngin' that want to tell on his homies and his friends, guess what? You better just go ahead and do your time, youngin', because your honor is gone if you tell. Live and direct. Do your time, come home, and don't do it again. You don't gotta tell nobody. Take the hit, go in the joint, come home. Your life is gonna be 100 times better. That's the blessing. You might go to jail, right? What in the time while you doing the time, Tom, Dick, and Harry might got killed while you in the jail.
We need
God saved you without you even knowing.
We need an anti-snitch line.
No, we know why.
So not anti. Hear me out. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, when they come bring you the offer, they need an alternative to call so they don't do it.
No, that's why I say what I say about the gray areas and stuff like that. They got to check their own gray areas. If I feel as though, if I hear it and I feel as though, damn, the children are in jeopardy, put it out there. Whoever got to want to carry it, got to carry it correctly. From this incident that I had just spoke on, I feel it. I feel dishonor. I feel our village being destroyed eventually. It's going to be like a plague, and these kids all be in jail thinking they was behind Pablo Escobar, who was a rat already anyway. King on the live and direct. Tune in, y'all.
Sneaky!
Listen, man. We had a great interview today, man, with Mr. King Erna, Mr. Live and Direct, man. It was a beautiful situation. You know, I want to shout out everybody that tuned in, man. We got a lot of good things coming along. We got my guy in the cut right here, man. We appreciate you for coming down.
Oh, man, you already know.
Man, this is co-host.
Shout out to B-Real, man. Coach Smugger, man. He was giving the youth some major game. I don't know what day it was, but he was teaching them about when you see an opportunity, and then when you grab an opportunity, man, be real. We on Broad Street, man. Make sure you being real out there and get that Be Real apparel.
You know, we came in into one of my man's sessions, man. Moss was in here recording. He said, Flock, if you want to come down and come do your thing, you know what I mean? So,
good book.
Shout out to Leak Moss, man, for, you know, letting us come through in this session and shoot the podcast, man. Moss working. You already know what's going on. You know what I mean? He just shot the movie. You know, that's out. Project is out, you know what I mean, good book, all that, man. We'll tap in, man.